Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Here we are live, 8 o'clock news with Nate and Zac here. Just chatting. If you're looking for a new career during lockdown, got a bit of time in your hands, or just kind of looking for a bit of a change from what you're doing now, we're just here to kind of chat about what it takes to be a real estate agent.
That's it. I'm definitely right. I think with Zac saying, this is the time in your life now to really stop for a moment, really think exactly what you want to do. There's a lot of people exploring different things, and I think real estate is definitely something worth you potentially investing a bit of your time in, exploring and seeing what it can do for you, because it's definitely done wonders for us, especially being blessed with the fact that we can work during an actual lockdown, which is a big one.
Yeah, no, it's just a great spot to work in, great industry to be in, especially if you love being with people, if you're very driven, if you're sales orientated, if you're just kind of like socializing throughout the day, like it could be a great career path for you and everything.
Absolutely.
So there's a couple of different types of real estate agents. You know, there's even different departments. There's residential, there's commercial, there's leasing, there's selling. It's kind of different couple of branches. So what do you do in real estate?
I work in commercial leasing, and the interesting thing is before coming into real estate, you know, you don't really have a really good idea of an overview of all the different departments, all the different areas of the actual agency working together cohesively to actually make something happen. So for me to work in commercial leasing, you know, I'm definitely not a one-man band. I definitely have a lot of support on my side, and I have a lot of different people and departments that I can rely on and help me get the result that I'm after for any given task, which is really good. Definitely keeps me busy, Zac. Let me tell you, I'm sure you're bloody busy most of the time as well. But it's definitely something I really didn't look into per se, wanting to get into real estate. I thought probably like what a lot of other people do is get into real estate. You either start off real basic and you can work at reception.
Well, what were you doing before real estate?
Before all of this, goodness me, I was working as a concierge. I was working part security, part concierge, and you know, part of me didn't really feel like I was fulfilling what I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. And a lot of the time for me was I always wanted to at least invest my time communicating, excelling in my communication with people, my ability to help people, which I'm sure you're the same with as well. So that's where, and of course, I think I'm going to be really cliche about this. I definitely love wearing a suit. Now, a lot of people might think it's just, you know, the whole thing of wearing a tie and a suit's really boring. But for me, I always felt a bit of a sense of pride putting on a suit, you know, looking my best, feeling my best. And that's when I've been able to apply a lot of that into my work. And so therefore, commercial leasing, here we are. And for me personally, it's been 6 months into the role. And my God, it's definitely had its challenges along the way, but it's definitely given me tremendous amounts of opportunity, not just, again, for working during lockdown, but being able to meet, you know, so many different type of people, so many different people with businesses that just want to succeed, want to flourish. And whether it be a new business or it's something that they've been working on over the years and definitely looking to expand, it's definitely really fun.
Yeah, 100%. Like, especially the difference kind of in commercial and resi, like you're dealing with a lot of businesses, a lot of business owners, a lot of young people kind of out there kind of make a living pretty much.
Absolutely.
And a couple of different areas, like residential, dealing with more apartments, houses, commercials, usually like retail, offices, factories, kind of anything you can operate a business out of is normally falls under the umbrella of commercial.
Correct.
Anything you kind of live in and spend your time in is normally residential.
Correct.
So I work in residential sales. It wasn't always there. I did start in support about 5 years ago. That's doing a bit of marketing, a bit of media behind the scenes. And just as a young guy, I was 18, just got out of high school. It was my first full-time job. Just kind of got my foot in the door, started in a very junior basic role, worked my way up from there, became an associate after about 2.5 years, became an assistant to Lisa and Michael, which was great fun, and it was a hell of a ride. And just stepping out on my own now as a real estate residential salesperson, absolutely loving it.
Really? And I'm sure it definitely has its tremendous amount of challenges daily. You know, I mean, considering that we can definitely look on the table right now, me being 6 months in, Zac having a number of years behind him, we still face the same challenges daily, whether based on experience. And I think it's definitely something that, one, believe it or not, keeps us sane, keeps us on our toes, and makes us grow as individuals. And I think that's if you're someone that really wants to grow, this is definitely the industry to get into, because every day is absolutely different, and it is guaranteed, because I'm sure you've not had the same day twice.
Look, I got pitched the pitch in my one of my, I had 4 interviews to get in here, so don't ever forget that if you get knocked back once, just kind of keep going at it. I took 4 interviews to get my foot in the door here. And in one of the interviews, they were like, we can promise you one thing, that no 2 days will ever be the same. And I've never heard it kind of a truer sentence. Yeah. Every day you rock up and you just expect the unexpected, and you got to be flexible. You got to be able to kind of move when plans fall out in kind of our roles.
Yes.
But there are also roles in the business like accounts and media, which is a lot more structured, and it's really good for those people who like a lot of organizing. And to keep kind of the chaotic agents organized.
Absolutely.
As well. There's always kind of room for a bit of both. And also just don't be afraid to get your foot in the door in a junior role. Like whether it's support, whether it's on the front desk, on a reception, all the top agents in the area just get their foot in the door. And they work at that, and they keep their big picture in mind, and they strive towards that. You're not going to kind of jump in the door and get everything right away.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely. You will always be learning something, and it's the beauty of being able to learn from so many different people with so many different styles of experience that they've had throughout the years. You definitely start to mold into your own person, and that's the beauty of it. You want to become your own person, because one of the tremendous things about real estate is, as much as someone can like the stock you have, as far as the properties that you have in your database, whether that be residential or commercial, people want to be able to deal with someone, and they want to be able to like you. They want to invest part of their time, money, and effort into someone that's willing to do the same back. And when that works and it's quite fluid, my goodness me, it definitely keeps you busy, keeps you focused, keeps you very sharp, and wanting a lot more.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty.
Well, one of my biggest pieces of advice is for anyone who's kind of looking at real estate, looking to get into real estate. It is very cliche, but just be you. Be the best you can be. If you want to be kind of a family man, be a family man. If you want to be community orientated, do that. Find what we commonly at Novak refer to kind of our specialities, or what we take pride the most in, as superpowers. So pick your superpower and just kind of follow it the whole way through. Just never lose who you really are, because you can build on that every day and be proud of what you're doing and love what you're doing, because you're being yourself.
That's it. Like at the same time, there's not the one way of how to become a real estate agent or to work in the actual industry. There's not going to be the book that tells you from A to B, this is exactly how to be and this is exactly how to do it. You will all have goals, and you will all have had your different experiences in the jobs, whether it be a job or multiple jobs you have, or ultimately a career that you would have decided to do before. You can basically put together all of those traits that you've had before and make it into something in this industry. And that's the beauty of how flexible it is in that sense. So definitely, again, worth exploring, I think, especially 100%. When you've got enough time on your hands right now.
Well, it's one of those great jobs where it's not an office job. You're not stuck behind a desk all day kind of in real estate, but you're not stuck outside all day either. It's flexible. You're in, you're out, you kind of...
I don't know how many steps you rack up in a day, but my goodness me. If you're someone that's tracking your steps, you'll definitely want to keep an eye on it when you're working in this industry, because, you'd be doing something right most of the time when you're barely at your desk. You're up and about and you're actually doing something, because that means you're getting out there. You're not just, representing yourself. You're representing the people that you work for, and that's a great thing, especially when it's done well. So
100%. And a couple of questions is like, what do you need to be a real estate agent? So at the moment, according to all legislation, all you need is a certificate of registration to get your foot in the door, and a driver's license is highly recommended. If you can just have the ability to get from A to B, whether it's a car, bike, walking. If you happen to run, I didn't get my license up until working in real estate for 3 years. So I ran from A to B with signboards on my back and everything. So just really, if you've got the right attitude to get your foot in the door, start in, get going, really.
Absolutely. The car, definitely. I wouldn't recommend a push bike. It could work, but when you've got to be traveling from suburb to suburb, you definitely got to take that into account.
Well, you got to remember, Nate, sometimes parking's a bit iffy at DY, so sometimes we have electric scooters and we buzz around on them from routine to routine.
There you go. There you go.
So kind of just whatever gets you from A to B.
Missed out on that luxury commercial, but hey, it's good to know.
Yeah.
Now, based on obviously we were talking about, the little bits of qualification in terms of the certificate of registration. I mean, look, for some different websites and different agencies online can get you to do the tasks, relatively quickly. I think they even offer up until 6 months worth.
Sometimes,
yeah.
You can't really go past the Australian College of Professionals, really. If you're looking to get your foot in real estate, they'd be your first call, really.
Yep.
ACOP, you can Google it. They're kind of available most of the times between the traditional 9 to 5. They'll answer any questions. You got however curly they may be. But if you're looking to get into real estate, you want to get those qualifications behind you. ACOP would be your go-to person for sure.
Fantastic. And I think one of the big things that I've even wanted to ask you, and it's funny because, yes, Zac and I do work together. Yes, we're in the same office, but it is so hard to even find the time, really, to communicate and have those one-on-ones because we're in our own little worlds trying to do our thing. And I think what I wanted to ask you is why? What the big why you got into real estate?
So the why for me is it's not just real estate for me, it's being local.
Yep.
So I grew up in Oaks Avenue in DY. I've known DY, I've known Curly, I've known Freshie kind of as my family moved through the suburbs, but all my life. And I really just wanted to pick something that I'd give back to the community I grew up in. Like, played 250 games at Curl Football Club. Like, I've always been kind of loving getting out there, whether it's sport, whether it's with school, because I went to schools locally. Like, just really love giving back. And my Oppa actually owned he was the principal of his own agency up in Port Macquarie for a while. Port Macquarie was a bit too much of a commute for me, so I really wanted to push and get my foot in the door in a local agency, and found myself here and loving every day pretty much.
Very nice.
So what made you choose real estate? Was it just the fancy suits or?
Definitely. I'm guilty on that one. I think for me, it was definitely to play on my strengths. I definitely love talking to people. I definitely love helping people. And, backing track several years ago where I was actually a personal trainer for about 2.5 to 3 years of my life. I mean, that was a big commitment for me to make. And doing that, I established that ability to talk to people and want to help them then. But now branching off into something completely different where it has to do with property, real estate. It's just, for me, really fun to make people's dreams come true. Because for these people, for people looking for property, for real estate, this is a dream for them. Yeah. Whether it's going to be something that they lease, whether it's going to be something that they buy, they're investing good parts of their time and money in, and seeing it come to fruition in the end is just it's a milestone for them, and it's a milestone for you inside. You feel like you've done your part and you feel really good about it. And I definitely go about chasing that feeling every single day. It's feeling good about what you do. And realistically, in the end, when you start feeling good about what you do and it becomes that much fun, you forget that you're actually working and taking, X amount of time out of your week, because you really invest yourself in it. And that's something I feel I was definitely drawn to want to do it in the first place. I was definitely not a DY local though. I mean, I used to live an hour and a half away over near Camden, and to come and to move out this way with my partner and to now live here for over a year, DY's definitely become home, and gotta love the fact that live by the northern beaches and able to do this in the northern beaches.
Honestly, it's a beautiful spot to live.
Absolutely.
And it's an even more beautiful spot to work. But whichever agency, you might be not in the northern beaches, other areas of Sydney, just real estate in general, it's just a great feeling. You can go home at the end of each day and you can really look at yourself and go, did something.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because you're dealing with people's biggest kind of financial asset, the biggest things they will buy in their lives, whether it's their future home, whether their investment, whether they're first home buyers getting their first step in the market, whether they're people that are selling their family homes that have held for decades, looking for that downsize. It's just, I personally find it really fulfilling to kind of coach them and help them through those journeys. And it's honestly an amazing feeling when you get to the end of it, you look at each other and go, we did it.
That's it. But it doesn't stop there though. Just when you start looking at yourself in the mirror and you're having those moments to yourself and you're looking back at all the incredible things you've done, it just doesn't stop there, because your phone's going to ring, or you're going to get a text message, or there's going to be some email that drops in there at God knows what hour of the day or the night, and you will find it in yourself to get onto it, because 100%. You really learn to be responsible with yourself when it comes to this sort of work and in this industry. You really want to be on top of everything. You want to be extremely proactive, because it just makes you better in what you do. You don't want to be falling behind.
100%. 100%. I've got a question for you, Nate.
Tell me.
I know you've only kind of been doing it like gun-ho for the past 6 months, but what's one thing you wish you could say to Nate 6 months ago before he started in real estate? What's one key piece of advice you'd give to him before entering the door?
Go back in there. Brace yourself. Brace yourself, because it is not going to be an easy ride. And I will be completely honest with this whole news broadcast tonight, is that I was in this leading up 6 months definitely terrified and definitely questioning, was this the right move for me? I'm not going to say that it was an easy transition, but it came to a point where I needed to make a choice. And I made the choice myself to be really strong and to give it my all, and I did, and it just, my God, it's paying off on the top. Really. It sounds very silly, but it's true.
100%. Like every day, like it's kind of showed, like as with every career, every day has its highs, has its lows. You kind of go through those moments, but I can't lie to you. I've loved nearly every day of being here since day one in November 2016 up until today in August 2021. Every day's been a new challenge. Every kind of moment's been a new adversity, and I've loved getting over it. And just kind of the environment you surround yourself in, the people are always there to help you and get over those little obstacles as well, whichever hurdle you're going through. Whether you are a property manager kind of juggling all the routines or maintenance, whether there's been a big storm and you know you've got that influx coming in, whether you're in commercial and the market's doing what the market does, even if you're in accounts leading up to an end of month, there's always a goal to push forward to. And just real estate's a great career for people that are goal driven and who want to be authentic and want to do something that gets them out into the community and chatting to people, because one of the biggest things that we do is converse. We chat to each other, we chat to clients, we chat to people, we chat to people on the street. We just go, hey, what's the market doing? You're always chatting to people. And so it's beautiful for socialites or just little chatterbugs. Like if you consider yourself a class clown or you just like making jokes, it could be for you because it's great talking to people. It's great. And you just get to go out there. People appreciate you being you.
That's it. And I'll say, there are little tricks. I mean, you're never going to know everything on the spot. You are going to have like questions thrown at you that will completely disorientate you, and you'll be like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. But the ability to be able to talk to someone, really relate to them, get on their level, that is definitely important when it comes to this. And I think definitely looking up to Zac, being here for 6 months and seeing what Zac can do. Zac is gifted with the gab, let me tell you, and he just does not stop. And that's definitely something I've admired about him, and I've learned to implement in what I do. And yes, I'm commercial, he's residential, but in the end, they tie in so many different ways. It's unbelievable.
You pick up tips and tricks from kind of every area of your life, really, or you'll start in real estate for you. You'll pick up little tips and tricks. You'll pick up hobbies. You'll pick up habits like dedication, being on the go 24/7. You'll pick up kind of traits, and you learn to balance and schedule your life around careers like this, or you have learnt that and you're looking for kind of a new challenge. Real estate could be for you.
That's it. And Zac, I admired him about his ability to speak, and I taught him how to tie a tie real nice. So happy days. It works out really well.
It does work out really well. And if you've got any questions kind of tonight, moving forward, feel free to reach out. I'm available Instagram, Facebook, my number, kind of wherever you can get me. I'm always available. Same with my colleague Nate here. So if you have any questions in the future, I just want to thank you all for your time tonight, and feel free to reach out.
Thanks, everyone. Remember, we never sleep.
We never sleep.